These are 10 secrets that your home builder won't tell you, but I will. When it comes to buying a brand new home, I get it. New construction is so exciting. It's like getting a car with that new car smell, except it's a new house smell. If we haven't met before, my name is Amy Brown. I'm a realtor here in the Orlando area, and I help people just like you find their perfect new construction home in Orlando and beyond. I specialize in helping people navigate the world of new construction here in Orlando market. Whether you're planning to move in a month, a year, or 5 years, please feel free to reach out. I love helping people make the move to this beautiful area. Now let's dive right in. Well, I love new construction and I enjoy selling new construction. It's a great experience for the buyers. It's not all glitz, glamour, and dreamy lagoons. Builders have a few tricks up their sleeves, and today I'm spilling the beans. So buckle up for the 10 secrets your home builder probably won't tell you, but I will. Let's start with something really meaty, the builder contract. The builder contract is not your friend. It is written to protect, wait for it, the builder. Shocking, I know. But here's a fun fact. The builders won't change a clause or a single word because if you don't like it, it's a take it or leave it situation. There is an absolute imbalance of power with these contracts, so the best thing you can do in these situations is to know what you're signing. You have a large corporation like the Pulte's, the D.R. Hortons, the Lennars versus an individual consumer. So the individual consumers have no ability to negotiate the wording of the contract. So again, know what you're signing. For example, read the fine print. Find out about what happens if you back out to your earnest money deposit. Find out what the penalties are. If you choose to delay settlement, they can be hefty penalties. If you're building a house from scratch, from ground up, versus purchasing an inventory home, be sure you know the cost of change orders because builders do not like change orders and they make it very costly. So you want to understand what you're agreeing to. And most builders do have a little clause in there that lets them, not you, cancel the deal at any time for any reason. They rarely utilize this little clause, but if you're, let's say, become a pain in their butt and they don't want to deal with you anymore, they do have that in the contract. So just, again, read it carefully before you sign off. Next up, get representation. I know this is a self-serving thing to say, but it is so true. The builder sales reps work for the builder, not you. Their job is to sell you a house, not to look out for your best interest. It's like hiring a fox to guard the hen house. I've worked with some really kind and knowledgeable builder reps over the years, and I've also worked with some that were not that. So having a knowledgeable realtor at your side is like having a bodyguard at a chaotic Taylor Swift concert. Your realtor will make sure that you don't get trampled by the process. But there is a catch. You have to bring a realtor on day one. If you show up without one and sign any paperwork, just that, oh, we're just visiting, here's a little sign-in form, it's game over. The builder will not let you bring in a realtor later into the transaction when things aren't going so well, or for any reason, they won't let you. So plan ahead, bring your advocate with you, and let them fight the good fight for you. My sister built a new construction home in a Midwest state, and she chose not to use a buyer's agent, and she deeply, deeply regretted it as the friendly sales rep turned not so friendly and quite nasty as the transaction progressed. Next up, future developments near your new home. If there's a beautiful open green field behind your home and you chose that lot for a reason, beware, that could become a Walmart years later. Builders cannot control what's developed around the neighborhoods, so do your own homework. Check zoning maps, check with the county planning office. So here's a pro tip. If you see farmland or any large piece of green land, even if it has trees on it, don't assume it will stay that way. It very likely won't. If there's an empty plot of land in Central Florida, very soon it will have something built on it. I guarantee it. Always ask what's being planned. You'll thank me later, but just know that the sales reps might not know what's being planned. No one might know. So just when you choose your lot, be very mindful of what could be in the future. Next up, surprise property taxes. In Florida, we don't have the state income tax, but hold on, our property taxes are like an overachieving sibling. So here's the kicker. Your first year taxes will be based on the land value, an empty lot, not your beautiful new home. So don't get too excited at that low tax bill. Once your new house is assessed by the county, your taxes will shoot up significantly. So be sure to discuss that with your lender. And along with that, make sure to check whether your new construction community has a community development district fee, aka a CDD fee. CDD refers to a community that assesses fees to pay for infrastructure such as water or sewer and amenities within your community. The majority of new construction communities here in the Orlando area do have a CDD. So ask questions, plan ahead, and don't be blindsided. Next up, over-promised amenities. You've seen all the beautiful drawings in the sales center, lazy rivers, bowling alleys, yoga studios, coffee bars, and maybe even a unicorn petting zoo. You name it. Builders promise these things in their master plan communities, and then nothing. Turns out the unicorns are still in development. If the amenities aren't built yet, take them with a grain of salt. Developers change plans faster than you change your mind about paint colors. In 2 years, you might be still paying the HOA fees and asking, where's my lagoon? All the drawings showed a beautiful lagoon. And the builder will reply, oh, it's coming someday. So what's the moral of the story? Really, don't buy a house just for the amenities. And most people don't, that goes without saying, but unless you can see the amenities, you can physically see them and cannonball into the community pool yourself, just take this with a grain of salt. Next up, here's one of my favorites, the limited inventory game, the sales pitch. You know what the builder's reps will say, we only have 3 lots left. You better act fast. I know 2 people that are probably writing a contract right now. But it turns out they're holding 15 homes in the back like your favorite sneaker store does during a holiday sale. Why? You're asking, why would they do this? Well, really, it's a mix of reasons. It's marketing, it's permits, it's manpower. The builders release homes strategically, not because they're running out of drywall, but they're doing it to create urgency. They're running a business. So the builders are not required to put in their listings into the MLS. So they can really be very vague and evasive about what's coming on the market soon. And really, it's not the fault of the sales reps in the local offices. These decisions about when to release lots are really made at a very high level within the corporation by the accountants. So it's really driven, of course, by money. They're going to release them at a time which makes them, the builder, the most money. So if you go in on a Friday, they may honestly say to you, we have 3 lots left, and then the builder rep comes into work on Monday morning, and now a whole new section has been released. So they're doing the best they can many times, and they get frustrated because they're having conversations with your realtor and you telling them what's available, and then on Monday it's a completely different story. So that makes everyone unhappy, including the sales reps. Next up, builders love to offer flashy incentives. Use our lender and we'll throw in $10,000 for closing help. That sounds great, right? Except it's similar to those free vacation offers where you have to sit through a 3-hour timeshare spiel. The incentives are tied to using their in-house lender and their in-house title company. And often you can choose to use your own lender, but the interest rate will be significantly higher and you won't get all the incentives. So sadly, the outside lenders, which can be amazing, they really can't compete with the interest rates that the in-house lenders and their large corporations can offer. From my experience, the in-house lenders absolutely can get the deals to closing, but their level of customer service is not where it should be. They're getting handed customers, so they don't have to work hard. You're not going to use them again in the future. There's no possibility of repeat business, and it shows versus using an outside lender. However, their interest rates and the incentives that you get are generally, they're too good to pass up for most people, including me. But just know that the deals that they offer can expire immediately. You can talk to a lender on Thursday night at 8 p.m. You can talk to the sales rep at Thursday at 8 p.m. and Friday morning, the company has issued a notice that, whatever you were talking about, what incentives, what interest rates have changed. So just know, until you sign the contract, the incentives can change. And also with these amazing incentives that you see, and they'll put on their websites with these great low interest rates like 4.99, free washer, dryer, free blinds. These deals are usually for move-in ready homes, and you must settle within 30 days or sooner. So the deals are real and the deals are really great, but if you want that kind of amazing deal, or you need it financially, you can't move without that kind of amazing deal, just know that very likely you'll need to be ready to close quickly. Next up, who's building next door? There are some big neighborhoods with multiple builders. You just don't pick a lot, you also pick your neighbors, kind of. One street might have $500,000 homes, and the very next street or across the street could have $1 million homes, and across the street could be luxury apartments. So it's sort of like walking into a Target that's kind of half Walmart, if that makes sense. You won't know who's building next to you or what their design aesthetic is really until very late in the process. So talk to the builder, check out the neighborhood map, scope out the vibe of the neighborhood. Make sure you're not next to a house or across from an apartment building that you might not want to be across from. So anyway, just do your due diligence on those types of neighborhoods with multiple builders. Next up, this is everybody's favorite. The HOA is watching you. The HOA is the neighborhood's unofficial watchdog. And I need to point out that I am a proud member of the HOA board in my community, and our HOA is a fantastic group of volunteers, but I do recognize that all HOAs are not like that. I'm just lucky. Before you sign the contract, get a copy of the community's rules, their covenants, their restrictions. These documents will spell out what you're allowed to do with your property, and possibly more importantly, what you're not allowed to do with your property. Do you want to paint your house lime green? Probably not happening. Do you want in the future a backyard pool? You better make sure that that's allowed in your community. Do you want a fence in your backyard? Sometimes you can't, so you better make sure that it's allowed if you want to do that. And here's a heads up. If you don't pay your HOA dues, they can fine you, or worse, they'll put a lien on your home. So it's basically like joining a country club where the only perk is being told what not to do. My last 3 homes that I owned were not in an HOA, and I'd be happy to chat with you one-on-one about the downsides of living in a community without an HOA, because I can assure you it's a long list. Next up, model homes. That model home is just a tease. Model homes are like Instagram influencers. Stunning, flawless, and full of filters. The house that you buy is more like your slightly awkward cousin, and you know what I mean. Unless you have the budget for all of those upgrades, your home will not look like the model. So when you walk through the model, ask the sales rep what's included as a standard feature and what's an upgrade. The gorgeous quartz waterfall countertop, that is probably not standard, and it's usually a good $10,000 extra. They might put in pendant lighting, and the builders themselves, they won't put in pendant lighting for any cost. It's not available, but you'll see it in the model home. So the key here is to manage your expectations and know that the home you buy will not look like the model home. So there you have it, the 10 things your builder probably won't tell you. I'm here to make sure that you buy the dream, not the nightmare. If you have questions, please drop them in the comments below. And if you're house hunting in the Orlando area, please give me a call. Thanks for joining me today. And remember, buying a house doesn't have to be scary as long as you read the fine print. Thanks for watching.